Hello, my name's Vince Sheehan, and today I'd like to talk about 2001 A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick. I'd like to explore this 1968 film, looking at its structure and some of the themes that come across in the narrative. Now, this film, of course, is one of the most famous films ever written, and I've watched it recently and I'm struck afresh by how wonderful this film is. How wonderful, how unsettling, how original, and how full of artistic integrity this film is. Now, this film, of course, is based on a short story, The Sentinel, by Arthur C. Clarke, which he developed into a novel, which was written at the same time as the film was made. And you can just see the quality of the ideas behind this film from the get-go. Now, structurally, this film is very clear. We have basically 4 acts in this film, which are signposted by Kubrick. We have the opening, where the ancestors of man are fighting over this water pool, and one tribe encounters this mysterious alien monolith, which somehow gives them the knowledge to create weapons and to hunt, and therefore gives them the evolutionary edge over their competitors. So this monolith somehow brings these ape-like people into the next stage of their development. And famously, the ape throws up this bone, and we're transported into space millions of years later. We have this unforgettable sequence where these spaceships seem to be dancing to Johann Strauss's Second's Blue Danube. And we're introduced to Dr. Hayward, who is investigating this discovery, which has completely mystified the scientists on the moon. And he gets there, and lo and behold, he sees this monolith, identical to the one our ape-like ancestors had seen millions of years before. And then we're transported to the third act of the film, which revolves around how the computer who'd gone wrong and who turns against his creators and starts killing off humans on this perilous voyage. And it's just down to the ingenuity of David, Dr. David, who saves himself and indeed manages to get back in the ship and defeats this malfunctioning and psychotic robot. And it turns out that the mission he's on, he suddenly realizes, is to find out where the transmissions from the moon monolith are going, which turns out to be Jupiter. So he goes off into the fourth act of the film, into Jupiter, where he finds a greatly expanded version of this mysterious monolith orbiting Jupiter. And he goes on this incredible voyage, which seems to terrify him, seems to break him, seems to completely transform him. And he ends up in this room, rather tastefully decorated in a neoclassical style. He sees versions of himself, which he then becomes. He gets older, and eventually he appears to become this giant baby in this womb-like sac, which seems to be heading towards Earth. So that's the structure of the film, very clear. And what are we to make of it? Well, I think one of the clues is in the music Kubrick uses. And by the way, what a terrific soundtrack this film has. The Ligeti music in particular is truly unsettling, actually terrifying. This film has a U rating, but I find when those passages when the music comes in conjunction with the monolith, I find it utterly terrifying. And such a wonderful and exquisite combination of music and visual image. In addition to that, we must look at the work of Richard Strauss, Also sprach Zarathustra, his tone poem from the late 19th century, inspired by the work of the same title by Friedrich Nietzsche. And in that work, Nietzsche expounds the idea of the Superman, that somehow mankind will shake off the shackles of conventional morality, of religion, and forge its own destiny on its own terms. And the Superman, this pinnacle of human achievement, will bring this about. And you can't help but link the message of that philosophical book by Nietzsche, expressed unforgettably in the work of Richard Strauss through music, and in turn used by Kubrick in this film to express this idea that man is somehow evolving into something more each way. Now, of course, the only caveat to that is the fact that humanity hasn't progressed. Indeed, we keep falling back into our old ways, our old fallen, broken ways. And Kubrick would have been well aware of that, making this film in the 60s, particularly perhaps during the Vietnam War. So perhaps this film isn't optimistic in the sense of human achievement. Perhaps it's rather pessimistic, and that despite our best efforts, despite our evolutionary progress, we will always fall back and fall into the ways of fighting and bloodshed and violence. And personally, that's what I think the message of this film is. It's not a glorious progression. I think the 20th century has rubbished those claims. It's more a fact that we progress, yes, but we're always going to fail in some respect, because human nature, by its very nature, noble, yes, but also fallen. If you haven't watched it, watch this amazing and important film. And if you haven't seen it for a while, rewatch it. And what do you think about this film? What do you think it's about? Put it in the comments below. Please click like and subscribe if this is your kind of thing. And I've included a brief PowerPoint of some of the themes as well as the structure of this great film. Thanks for watching. Bye.